Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be sharing with you yet another brand new palette release. This brand, however, is slightly different because until recently it only sold the products and now it has its own beauty range. And the range that I'm going to be discussing today and sharing with you one of the palettes is Beauty Bay. So I picked up the Origin palette. I've also shared with you the Jordan Lipscomb palette, one of those of course. And I thought after I tried that one, the quality was so good that I had to pick up one of these. When it originally launched, they were actually out of stock by the time that I ordered them. So that just shows you how popular these have been. Now this is a £42 palette and it retails for £25, which I think is incredible value. You'll see in a moment inside the palette, but I just want to take you around the packaging. So this is the actual box that it comes in. Very, very pretty. The name is in black, so the name of the palette, this one is Origin, and then it says it's a 42 colour palette. The net weight is, you're getting £42 at 3.4 grams or £42 at 0.05 ounces. So that's the front of the box. This is the back. So it gives you a little bit of information along with the fact that it's cruelty free and vegan. You've got a 12-month shelf life here, and it does also give you a little bit of information like I said. So it says that Origin is a curated selection of 42 warm, nude and neutral shades with pops of rose gold and pink, designed to create casual and wearable daytime eye looks for the beauty obsessed, which I definitely am. Origin contains a combination of matte, metallic and colour-changing duochrome finishes, all with insane pigment payoff and a buttery texture that blends like a dream. So that's what it says about the palette. And I have already applied my eye look here so that I know exactly what I'm doing as always. So that's the outer packaging. In fact, when you get it, it actually comes in this, just like the other palette that I've ordered from this range. So it comes in this plastic bag. And then it says, for the beauty obsessed, which I love because of course I am. Now, along with the palette inside that bag, you also get one of these, so a pack of stickers, so you can customize your palette. Now, the palette itself comes in this bubble wrap. And then the palette itself looks like this. Now what I will say from the start is that it's a weighty palette. It's black matte packaging with this rose gold kind of, rosy gold, and it's very metallic and it's absolutely beautiful. So rose gold lettering there. Underneath it says it's a 42 colour palette, and then you have the actual Beauty Bay logo there. So it's very sleek, very professional looking, and I absolutely love it. Now the packaging, the outer packaging that I just shared with you, that information is all transferred onto the back of the actual palette, but this time it's rose gold. So it was rose gold and very metallic on the outer packaging with black writing. This time it's a black matte packaging with the rose gold writing, and you can see there everything is easy to read, which I really like. I don't have to get my glasses or my magnifying glass out, which I really love. Then on the inside you have a mirror which is covered in plastic, which I need to take off that film, but you also have these lips all over it. I really love that. And then the 42 pans look like this. They all have bees on them as well. Obviously it's a Beauty Bay brand. So that's what they look like. Now I went with this one because obviously I love neutrals. And when I check out the Jordan Lipscomb palette was a little bit deeper. It's more of a smoky palette with that pop of yellow. So whenever I actually test out a brand, I always test out a neutral palette because that's what I'm going to be wearing the most of. And also it gives me an indication of what the other shades and what the other palettes are going to be like. So I went with this. I mean, this has everything for me. It's got neutrals, it's got pops of colour, it's got shimmers, it's got everything in here. Now, all of the 4, so the first 4 rows are all matte, and then these are shimmers. Now, there is a specific way to use this palette. Obviously, you can choose to use it however you would like, but there is a specific way, because you see all of these rows here, all of the pans combine to make a specific eye look. So for example, you could use this one here or this one here for an eye look, or this one here, and so on. And what it says down the side, so down the side starting here, so you've got the base, then you have got the transitional shades, so all of these are base shades, all of these are transitional shades. Then you have all of this third row as your crease shade. You then have a liner row there, so these are your liners. You then have the first row of shimmers, so this is your pop here, so that will go on your lid. And then you have, yeah, these are your highlights. So whether you want to highlight your brow bone, your inner corner, or perhaps you want to highlight the middle of your eyelid, that is what these are generally used for. But of course you can mix and match, do whatever you would like. I really like this because when I purchase larger palettes, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with the amount of pans that are within the palette, and I'm thinking, which one should I go for, which one, you know, will look okay together. The thought has been taken out of it, and if you are a beginner, or just like me, you get overwhelmed with these larger palettes, then perhaps you may want to try one of these. Now there is I think it's more of a pink palette, and then there is also a brighter palette as well, but I really like neutrals. I wanted to test this one out, and I'm really excited about this. Now what I'm going to do now, as I've done the rest of the week, I'm going to share with you 6 shades from around the palette just to show you how they swatched. Now obviously you shared, or I shared with you a video yesterday about another palette, and it swatched terribly, but it actually performed very well on the eye. So although yes, I'm still doing swatches and showing you, you know, how they swatch on my arm, obviously it's not until you test them on the actual eye that you are really going to find out whether they're going to perform well for you or not. So as always, I've got 3 shimmers. So I've gone for this one, this kind of orangey warm shimmer. Then I've gone for a golden shimmer. Then I went for a rosy shimmer. In fact, this one is what's on my lid. Then I went with this shade, which is my not my transitional, this is my crease shade today. So these 3 are now mattes. Then I've gone for a brown, which is like a red brown, warm brown, and then I've gone with this actually is a transitional shade. So I've, you know, tried to mix it up a little bit, and this is your base shade from one of the actual rows there. But here's a little bit of a you know, a selection of shades for you to look at. I mean, to be honest, with 42 pans, it would be hard for me to get them all on the arm. And there you can see that, you know, you've got a selection of shimmers there, and you've got a selection of mattes there. So that is how they swatch. So like I say, I've already applied 1 row, I would say, onto this eye. I will say that the liner I'm a little bit confused about. I think it's because they're all mattes, and they've put all of the mattes, you know, in rows, and then the shimmers are then in 2 rows on their own. But I would have expected the liner to be at the end, not before, you know, the shimmer. Because you put liner on and then you put shimmer, that shimmer is going to cover the liner. But I did something a little bit different with mine anyway, because how they you know, I suppose set them out for you to use them is a little bit different to how I actually apply my shadow, and I will talk you through that in a moment. So I'll just also share with you which row I went for. So I went with, and you've got also numbers at the top, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you've got 7 rows, and then you've got all of the names of the rows, you know, like I just mentioned. So I went with number 5, this one here, or that one there. I wanted to wear my rosy top today, and I thought that that would work really, really well because it's got some beautiful pinks in there. Now I've just got to get my brushes closer to me, and I'm going to start off with this brush, which is my Wilko brand new brush. It's a double-ended brush, and I'm really loving this one here, this end here, because it's so fluffy. Really love that, and I believe that was about £4 from Wilko. Now I'm just going to pop the palette here. It's quite a big palette, and I'm going into, in fact actually no, I'm going to start off with this one because I've already missed out a step here. So you start off with the base shade, so it's base numbered row 5, so you have 5 and then the base. Let me just show you what I mean, and then that will be, I'll have to keep it on my lap just because it's such a big palette. So it is this one here. So it's row 5 and then it's the base shade. So I'm starting off with that one, and I'm going to be using this clean brush, which is a Primark PS Eye Contour brush. So I'm just going into that neutral shade there. And I'm just going to pat down my base, which is, as always, the Revolution Pro Eye Elements in Central. So I'm just going to pop all of that cream shade all over the lid. It really worked well, me doing this yesterday, so I'm hoping for the same today. So you can see the finished eye there. Now I'm just going to pop that one down and then move on to my Wilko brush. And with the fluffy end, I'm going into the transitional row, and that will be row 5 again because I kept to that row. What I will say is that this is very pigmented, and also there's no kick up in this shade. In the first one, that lighter base shade, there was a little bit of kick up, but not much. It's minimal. So I'm just going to pop this now all over the eye from the crease up, and then take it quite high as I always do, and then leave a little bit here, so a little part there, so at the top. Just going to go into that again. This was really buildable and really effortless. I like my transitional shade to be a little bit built up. Because of my eye shape, I tend to find that the transitional shade disappears. So that is the transitional shade. Now I'm moving on to, with a clean brush, obviously you could do a one brush tutorial, you know, if you wanted, but I didn't want to you know, put too many shades on one brush. So I'm now going in with the crease shade, which is this beautiful pink shade, and it's actually the one that I swatched. So this one here, it is pigmented, and I'm now going to go into the crease. I was a little bit concerned about this shade because it is quite a bright shade for a crease, but it actually works really well. Now what I did was I went back to my original brush because it is quite a bright shade, and I just blended that, just softened the edges a little bit because it is quite a bright, beautiful, but these are very, very pigmented. So I just got a little bit of that first, no actually the second shade, sorry. So the base shade, no, I'm confusing myself now. The transitional shade on the brush, just like that, just to blend that out. That's better. I just went a little bit too high there with the brush. Okay, so that is the, we've now got the base shade, the transition shade, and the crease shade laid down like that. I'm just going to go in a little bit more with this shade, like that. And I'm going to go in with that transition shade and just blend that out a little bit, like that. That's better. I didn't go high enough. And I do find this, unfortunately, when I'm doing my eyes in different areas. Like that. That's better. Beautiful. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now what it suggests that you do is do the liner. Now, if I put the liner on, as I mentioned at the beginning, so if I put the liner on and then go over my eye with the shimmer, that is then going to cancel out the liner. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to keep to the steps that they suggest, and I'm going in with my Revolution Pro brush, and it is this one. Now I've just noticed, oh no it isn't, sorry, I haven't read the number, it's the Pro 140 brush. So it's that one there. And I'm going to go into the liner, which is this beautiful purple, very rich purple shade. And I'm going to pop that, just stamp that and line my under eye. I don't very often wear liner anyway, and what I'm talking about is liner here. So to be honest, you know, it's redundant for me, but I do wear a lot of, well, in all of my makeup, I wear it underneath the eye. I then went back with my first fluffy brush and I then blended that out. It blends beautifully, by the way. So I just pop that in a line, but it blends out really, really well. Like that. Because I tend to find also a harsh line under my eye just doesn't suit my eye look at all. So I do like it very, very blended, and yeah, that worked really, really well for me. In fact, I'm just going to get a little bit more of that transitional shade and just blend that out a little bit. That's better. Okay, now what I wanted to do, I wanted to use that same shade in the look above, but I didn't want to use it as a liner. So I went in with this brush from Primark. It's the Pencil and Powder Smudge Brush, numbered 250, that one there. So I'm going straight into that purple shade again that I used underneath the eye, and I'm going to pop it on the outer V, and then I'm going to take it through the crease here. Like that. So you're putting it in the outer V and just into that crease just above. So it also gives me a little bit of depth, because I actually like that depth there, but if you follow what they've suggested, you don't get that depth at all, because the pink is quite vibrant and I wouldn't say that it is going to deepen up the crease. So I'm then going back in with that brush with the pink on. I'm just going to blend that out. So now we've got a little bit of depth there, still daytime appropriate, but you've got that depth, and I'm just going to then join that up with what we've done there. Perfect. Okay, so that's done. Now we're moving on to the shimmer. So the shimmer that I went is in that same row, and it's called Pop, and it's a beautiful, it's like a pink purple kind of shimmer, absolutely stunning. It feels so soft and buttery to the touch. So now I'm just going to apply that onto the lid. And a little of this goes a long way. It feels beautiful. What I also will say is that because I have hooded lids, so when I do this and apply this first, you know, the eyeshadow on one eye, sometimes when I even get to this stage, it's already coming off, because, you know, it's just the nature of my lids. Sometimes I'll set it with a fixing spray, sometimes I won't, just depending on how I feel that particular day. But today, the shimmer has stayed on my eye, and I'm really impressed with that. I'm just going to use what I've got left on my finger just for this eye, but it doesn't need it because it's still there. I'm very, very impressed with it so far. In fact, I'm just going to clean that off. So yeah, really, really love the colour, like how it feels, beautiful. Now we're going to move one pan down, and that's the highlight. And it is a beautiful shade. I'll show you the row that I followed again in a moment. So I'm just going to use this. It's the PS Pro Shading Eye Brush, just a pencil brush. And I'm just going to use that last shade, which you could use to highlight the brow bone, or of course, as I always do, around the inner corner. And I really like the fact that you don't have to think about it too much. You can just use, you know, what they've suggested, or of course you can choose whatever you would like to apply. You don't have to stick to that, but I just love it. So that now is the, let me just put a little bit more on. There we go. So that is the base. In fact, that's the eye makeup applied in full. I really, really love it. I have gone for a brighter, more vibrant row so that you can see it really clearly here. And the row that I've gone for is this one here, so number 5. So I've followed all that all the way down. There's that beautiful purple, and then that's the shade that I've just applied to the inner corner. So that is all of the eyeshadows applied. Now I've just got to finish it off to apply my liner. So that of course is the Revolution HD Smoky Waterproof Eyeliner, and I just need to now apply my mascara, which is my favourite mascara of the moment, which is the Revolution, the Mascara Revolution. I am loving this, but I still need to clean the brush off. This is such a brilliant mascara. I just cannot, well, I would recommend this to anybody. Just going to make sure my hair is out of the way. There's always one hair that wants to get coated in mascara. This really does make light work of applying your mascara. Love it. And that is the whole look. Using, let me just get the palette again, the brand new Beauty Bay palette Origin. Absolutely love it. I will just show you the inside again. This is £25, and I think for £25 you are getting so many looks. I can't wait to actually apply more. Of course, I went with a rosy look today, not just because it's vibrant. I wanted you to see exactly how it applied on the eye, and I thought that you'd be able to see that better if it was a little bit of a brighter look. Not only that, it's sunny again here in Norfolk, and I really wanted to wear my lovely pink blouse, and I wanted a pink eyeshadow look as well. I would absolutely love it if you let me know what you think of the eye look, how you thought it applied, what you're thinking about the palette. Have you picked yours up yet? Which one did you go for? And I would also love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. It just makes my day. Not only to receive your comments, but also for people when they subscribe. I can see my figures going up, and I just absolutely love that because I know that you are loving my channel. But of course, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.